found out about D.L. Hughley slams Charlie Kirk's black defenders or supporters. Like this is what I mean. Like this is what I mean by still being slaved. Um, I understand that people are still shocked that Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and that's one of the things that you don't want happening is people getting hurt or murdered or assassinated. I don't give a fuck who it is. But the thing is that you have a lot of blacks that died recently from tragedy of, these crazy motherfucking young kids going into churches and schools and many other places like Walmart and this black kid that got lynched near a college, and nobody mourns these people. Like you don't hear nobody talking about how these black people were murdered. It's like it's supposed to happen to us. And I made a video last night, which I didn't know was three something in the morning. Um, I said it before. We are still in a slavery mind because it doesn't matter if white people talk bad about us. We still want to support white people. We want to support white people so bad. Now, I'm sitting up there saying that there's nothing wrong with certain white people because all white people are not bad. But you got the bad ones, the worst ones, and we support them. We support racism and we celebrate people who died that were racist. Like they will celebrate Hitler or they'll celebrate somebody like Mussolini or anybody that were very, very high profile racists and terrorists or whatever we want to profile. We want to celebrate them, like we celebrate the Holocaust, or um we celebrate things that were within the Bible that were very, very violent, and we want to celebrate many other things that were very, very violent, and like them killing off our leaders and stuff like that, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and many other people that were our leaders. We don't even celebrate them. Like blacks don't even care anymore about celebrating, you know, the things that blacks went through. We want to celebrate what white people went through because we can't stand seeing white people fall. And even though how racist they can be, which they are, because like I said, they still got these sunset towns. They still have these places that you can't even go to a restaurant and sit and get food without them staring at you. You can't even drive your car down the street without a cop stopping you, pulling you over, and pulling you out of your car and want to search your car illegally or mistaken identity and all this other kind of stuff. And it really cracks me up that I'm watching this woman being a preacher talking about we support Charlie and we support his family, but have y'all seen the videos of what he made about black people? And it was so terrible that he had debates about us in public in front of other white people and making other white people believe that we are very bad people by saying that we are 50% more likely to commit a crime than anybody else. And even though that's not even true, because it's only what 13% of us in this 13% of us in this country, so we're a small percentage of people in this country. So how is it that we are so violent and you make up lies like Donald Trump will make up lies about any fucking thing and people believe him, but they're doing the same thing. Like, I don't get it. Even black people are going to these rallies. I see a lot of black people at these rallies and they support these racist radicals. And it doesn't make any sense to me that they get on TV and they get mad at like D.L. Hughley or many other, you know, blacks that are trying to understand what America is going through today, that after 2020 and after we got this vaccine, everybody been acting weird. Like I always believe the vaccine has changed people, and I don't give a fuck what anybody tell me about the vaccine. I believe the vaccine was given to people, and once they took this vaccine, everything just changed. People's mind has just changed. Have you noticed that? I want to know if people have noticed that ever since people have taken the vaccine, the United States has been, this is not just the United States, it's around the world, has been acting strange because this virus popped up out of nowhere and then they forced you to take a vaccine, and next thing you know, everybody is acting strange. From 2020, 5 years, after the pandemic, we are in this situation. Like we're in a situation of civil war, not just civil war. It's just racism is building like a taller ladder than than ever before. It's like it's wild. Like, and then they don't want you to understand the things that are going on through 2020 to 2025 after the pandemic, and even people are still taking this vaccine. And the people that don't take vaccines, I just noticed that they end up with different types of viruses and different types of, diseases, even if they don't take the vaccine. And people will actually get mad that they don't take the vaccine. But have you ever noticed as people change their whole mindset, the way their belief system is? Because I said before the pandemic ever existed, everybody was starting to get along. White people were starting to get along with black people. There was no such thing as going around blaming other cultures. There wasn't going around saying that immigrants don't belong here. This is before Donald Trump was even elected as president. Even if Donald Trump was elected as president, Donald Trump he wasn't even talking about things like that. He was talking about immigration. Yes, he was talking about the Muslims. Yes, he banned people, but it wasn't the fact that he was going after Social Security or he was going after anything else. It was the fact is that when the pandemic came along, and then everything just changed. And I always will believe that because I don't understand the way people think nowadays. People think so dumb. Like this country, and not just country, the world has changed ever since the pandemic. And people will say, well, that's what happens when you have viruses. No, it does not. Because even ever since 1918, we did have after that we had the the stock market crash, and then we had World War two after World War One. But the thing was that the world was still the same. But now you look 5 years later after the pandemic and after everybody took this vaccine, everything is different. It's like everything has changed. Like people are not getting along with people. Racism, like I said, is really high. Everything is high in prices. We can't afford anything. People are losing their jobs. People are going to be losing their disability. People are going to be losing their child care, their health care. And this is ridiculous that I'm thinking that this vaccine actually made people like lose it. And it's coming to a point that it's going to get more dangerous as we keep on taking these vaccines. And I don't know what they put in these vaccines. We don't know what they put in these vaccines. Everybody's talking about, oh, how healthy they are and, the CDC and all this other kind of stuff. I don't believe none of that bullshit. Ever since they've been doing experiments on people for hundreds of years and even doing experiments on their own troops and doing experiments on blacks and doing experiments on just any other culture that they could do experiments on, even during World War One, World War Two, and many other wars, they've been doing experiments on children, and they've been doing it through vaccines. And people just want to believe that it's not that. I believe, in my own opinion, ever since 2020, the world has changed. Now, they're talking about New World Order and all this bullshit. I don't give a fuck about the New World Order. I be thinking that once people started taking these vaccines, they started going to these fucking rallies and they stand there like robots and they listen to these people that don't take the vaccine, that they tell them this is what y'all need to do. This is how y'all need to listen. Because I've never seen thousands and thousands of people go and see one man to talk about black people. Now, like I said before, years ago, when we had, leadership, black leadership, yes, we were defending ourselves against the white man to let us have freedom. But nowadays, you're seeing it differently now. You don't see blacks having rallies and having, black leaders talk to us. You're seeing white people that are having white motherfucking leaders rally to talk about a people that they don't hardly know the fuck about. White people don't know nothing about black people. They don't, because they don't live in our neighborhoods. The only thing they see is on CNN, Fox News, and their local news. But they don't know nothing about black people to even say anything negative about us. But they only go by history, or their pretending history, the history that they made up for themselves to make black people look bad. And this is what Charlie Kirk has done. And I defend D.L. Hughley because D.L. Hughley is telling the truth that us black people are so fucking confused and we're so lost because, like I said, during slavery, our brains were picked apart by telling us, "Here's your God. You work for us. You only worship us, and you will always be slaves." And this is what black people have depended on for nearly 200 years of being slaves, even though we were so-called freed, which we weren't free. Because, like I said, if we were free, we would not be going through this. If they truly care about black people, we would not be going through this. It would not be no racism towards us. It won't no be attack on us. We won't be pulled over. We won't be taken out of our cars and arrested for no apparent reason and searched for no reason. We won't go to jail for a crime that we didn't commit. We wouldn't be looked at as a mistaken identity. We would be able to get loans. We won't be redlined. We wouldn't went through Jim Crow. We would never went through the civil rights movement if white people really cared about black people. Now we are sitting here trying to understand why they have these rallies, and it's been over nearly how many years after we had the civil rights movement, and they feeling like we still have these privileges. We don't have no fucking privileges. They're trying to take our fucking disability away from us. They're trying to take our SSI away from us. They're trying to take away our food stamps. They're trying to take away things away from us. And it's not just they're trying to take it from just regular people. They're trying to take it more likely from black people because black people are considered poor. Just like any other culture, like you have the white culture. You have the white cultures that are very, very poor too. But I believe they're not going to take nothing from them. They're picking and choosing the people they want to take things from. And we are trying to survive. But we don't need people to be talking about us because it's not right to do that because social media has really, I believe the devil robes on social media anyway. The devil roams on social media. So all these little demons that are roaming on social media, and I'm not saying it's just white people, it's also black because blacks are defending whites like whites are not bad people. And I'm not saying all of them are bad because, like I said, there's some good white people out there that understands their history and trying to figure out why their their people keep messing with black people. And they don't even understand why that they won't their own culture won't leave us alone. But like I said before, we celebrate racism. We celebrate hate. This is what we do. We'll sit here and have a party about somebody. Oh, I hate PlayStation joysticks. They're so sensitive. But like I said before, like we are, like I said, ever since the pandemic and everybody got these shots, I really believe people have changed, and it's just my opinion. Now I maybe be wrong. Maybe the sticking is good. Maybe people are right about it. I don't know. I never got vaccinated because I believe that if there's a point in getting vaccinated, why the hell are people were dying after vaccinations? I just don't. Why were people's minds? Why people ended up in a mental institution after vaccinations? Why did people end up really sick after the vaccinations? Which you're not honestly. You know, vaccines are very bad for the immune system because our immune system is already weakened, and we're weakening even more by putting a vaccine in our body that we don't know nothing about. We don't even know the ingredients that were in the vaccine. But like I said before, it's just my opinion because I believe the way people have changed for the last 5 years, going on 6 years, it's crazy. Murders have been up. You know, you got kids killing kids. You got parents trying to support their kids into doing violence. Racism is at its all-time high. You know, we don't get along with each other. People say, "Oh, that happened." No, yes, it has happened in the past, but you got to understand before 2020, everybody was considering getting along. And this is like I said, Trump was in office around that time too. But and even Obama and George Bush Jr. All them were in office at the time, and we were trying our best to get together. We wasn't having any wars. We wasn't having any conflicts. There was no back and forth, you know? And now all of a sudden, we're having these conflicts. We have a president in office that don't even know how to talk. You know, he's at a black tie event, and I'm looking at this motherfucker like this man is really delusional, you know? And he tried to support that the virus and everything was fake. But the thing is that you had other people believing that everything was real, so you had to take the vaccine because you were forced to take it. You were forced to take it. You didn't take it on your free will. You were forced to take it, or you would have lost your job. You would have lost your benefits. You would have lost everything. If you would probably have lost your home. You probably would have lost your car. You probably had your kids taken away from you if you didn't take this vaccine. Oh, but they'll give you a PlayStation 5 or a couple of $1,000 or whatever if you took the vaccine. It was weird. Like they will actually try to force you to take this thing, and knowing that when you take things that your body does not know nothing about, and plus your brain, because also they're sticking this thing up your fucking nose, and it's touching like the front of your brain, and you're trying to figure out why you need to do all this to figure out if you got COVID. You know what I mean? Because they used to swab your mouth to see if you got any diseases in your mouth or viruses, but now they're sticking things up your nose. And this is the reason why I believe that they were trying their best to do something to you. Like they used to do when they used to do the thing when they used to cut into the brain to take part of the brain out because they thought you were fucking crazy. So they used to do a lobotomy. When they used to they used to go and cut your brain and go to use the brain surgery. They used to cut the part of your brain to say that your function, they'll try to stop some part of your function to make you think that you're crazy, but it actually fucked you up. The same thing as they were sticking that thing up your fucking nose. I thought it was like a lobotomy. Cause I told the doctor, that's like, damn, what y'all doing, lobotomies? Like, what you talking about? Because y'all sticking that shit in my nose, and y'all, I can feel it in the frontal lobe of my brain. Oh, well, we need to do this. Well, why can't y'all swab my mouth? Why can't I fucking like spit in a cup? Like y'all only need my saliva. Why do I need to? Why is my nose? What does my nose and my brain have to do with COVID? Because I didn't know they did that back in the 1800s. Well, they said they didn't have no type of doctors or anything like that to do anything like that because they didn't know anything about viruses. So how would you come to do that when we had all these other viruses that the only thing they do is just take your blood to figure out if you have anything in your blood, or they will swab your mouth. But now they stick this thing up your fucking nose like they're doing a lobotomy. And if people don't know what a lobotomy is, go back during World War II when they used to do lobotomies on Jewish people. And they used to do lobotomies on black people too. When they used to do experiments on black people. When they used to do the Philadelphia Project. When they were doing experiments. And a lot of people think the Philadelphia experiment really actually was doing a lot of back then too to have motherfucking people act crazy. Because they had times that people were acting crazy after they were getting all these different types of these vaccines and lobotomies and shit, and putting them in mental institutions because they had a stretch. They were putting people in mental institutions, and they were doing it to kids, put them in mental institutions, saying these kids are crazy and leave them there to die. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that they're trying to do the same thing today. It's like they have robots. Like I've never seen people be robots before. There's so many people out here that are robots. Like I never even I see the police department. They're robots. Like they're programmed to arrest people. The military is programmed. Like they're programming these people to do these. Even human beings are programmed. It's crazy that I'm seeing people today walk around looking like robots. Like people don't go nowhere. People, we're depending on the things that we could get from the government. Yes, we should depend on the government because the government is what we put our money in to keep our money until we can use our money. But they don't even want to give us our money. How can you sit there and tell us that we can't get our money when we are the ones that are putting in to our taxes? And when we put money into our taxes, y'all talk about how much money we get back. We don't even get any money back through our taxes. We can make $3,000 a whole year, and we probably get at least about $1,000 back. And not even 1,000. We get less than that because they'll tell us that we owe. And even if you do owe, they will give you a little bit of money because then they want you to get a loan. Then they want you to pay that loan back. Because how can you tell us that we owe you money, but that's the money that we work hard for? But you're taking it out of our taxes. How can you sit there and say we can't have disability when they created the disability to help people that have disability? Now I understand the scams and all that bullshit. Yes, that's some fucking crazy shit that I've been hearing. A lot of scams that's going on through these disabilities and shit like that is wrong. And I'm fucking hoping they catch the people that are doing scams, because the people that really need the motherfucking disability, like me and many other people, they are the ones that are suffering. We are the ones that are suffering, and we're the ones that are going to get our disability taken away because of these fucking scammers. And now they want you to do these packet things. They want you to do. I don't give a damn about. I got HS. All right, I got HS, very violent HS that is in my body from my mother having it and her having lupus and my mother dying from it. I have HS, and HS is very, very fucking dangerous. And people don't know what HS is. It's a skin disease that attacks the immune system from hair follicles that die. And the hair follicles that die turns into sores. And once that hair follicle dies, it turns into these little tunnels. And then when they create these little tunnels, they create really nasty ass sores. And once the nasty ass sores come, then I had to get an antibiotic that actually blows up the motherfucking sore that rips, it tears my skin off. So I don't have no skin on my leg. Right now, I got a big open wound in my leg that has nothing but dead tissue showing, and I got pictures and proof all over the place. And I can go to my doctor any fucking time to get proof. Even I gotta go to my dermatologist, and I got a pacemaker. I got two pacemakers. Document that HS, and I also have depression. Even though I'm supposed to be on a medication, which I should be on, that I haven't been on in a while, but I'm depressed. I have bipolar depression. And my HS is so bad that I could get it at any time. And it's aggressive. And I never asked for this shit. I got it in my underarm. I got it in my buttocks. I got it head in my groin. I'm lucky I don't have it on my face. And I also have it in the back of my neck, in the back of my head. That's how aggressive my HS is. And I don't want this shit. I don't want to be walking around leaking every fucking where from pus and shit. This is the thing that gets me mad, that people that do things get away with it, and then the other people get blamed for it. It's like you get a penalty in football, but the referee don't see the penalty. The first shot of the person punching you in the head, in the back of your helmet, but they only catch you doing something. That's what they're doing. They're blaming us for other people's negligence of scamming the system, like food stamps, just like disability, like food stamps, and also medical. People are scamming the medical system just to get ahead. It's crazy. Food stamps are very, very hard to get, through welfare. Even if you go and try to get welfare, you want to get welfare to help you out to get food because you are on a limited budget and you can't afford food. So they helped you out, even though they got food banks, blah, blah, blah. But food stamps really help you out. Now, the old school food stamps, that's different. But the new age food stamps is a lot different because now they're watching you. And all this watching people is crazy how they watch you when you have situations that you're going through, knowing that they follow you all over the fucking place for they give you like they're giving you millions of fucking dollars. They don't give you a lot of money. They don't stretch the money out to give you to support you while you are sick. So basically, you got to call disability hoping that they can help you have the money to pay your rent or to get food. That's what you have to do. It's crazy that they want everything from you, but when you want them, you can't get them. Now they're saying they're going to make it a little bit more easier for you to get connected to them. They should have made this easier for people to connect to them years ago. Why do we have to wait till we get a president in office to say, well, we need to do better? No, y'all should have been done better. Now you're going to have people afraid to look at these damn motherfucking pieces of paper that you're going to send us in this big ass packet to say, oh, you can't get your food, you can't get your disability anymore because we don't want you to have it. And even though that it's just so sad, yo. Like I got off topic because it's really pissing me off because I really think D.L. Hughley is the only person that actually speaks up because there's a lot of blacks out there that don't speak up. They're afraid to speak up because they're afraid to have things taken away from them. And I believe D.L. Hughley is speaking the truth about what's going on in the black communities today. Because I believe black people want to be white so bad sometimes. I believe black people just are afraid just to be black. They are hating their own culture because they feel that their own culture has failed. And the white person is not the one that did that. They don't want to blame white people. Why y'all keep blaming white people? Because look at the history. Look at the history. What black white people don't have a history? Like black people are the only ones that have a history. But do you see our history different between their history? There wasn't slaves. We were. You know, they didn't. We didn't ask to come to this country. They brought us here. So how is it that we look at it as, what black people be like? Oh, why you hate white people? I don't hate white. Like I told people before, my daughter mom is white. Like I keep telling people that my daughter mom is white. You know what I mean? I have nothing against white people. I have something against racist white people. I hate them. I despise them because those are the ones that actually keeps us in this loop of racism, and we can't get out of it. It's like they want to support racism and they try to teach racism to other cultures that hate one culture. It is fucking ridiculous. And they put it in the police system. They put it in the military. They put it in schools. They put it in jobs. They put it everywhere. Racism is everywhere. And they talk about us black people being racist. We're not racist people because we already know that we are the ones that are being attacked. So if we were attacking white people all the time and calling them all types of names and being racist towards them, then we have a reason. White people have a reason to say something, but we never attack white people. We have no reason to. We have white people living in our fucking neighborhood. I just seen a white boy walking down the street yesterday in the hood. I don't see no black person walking up to him and try to get at him. But if a black person is walking through a white neighborhood, guess what happens? We are the ones that gonna have a Karen come up. Why are you here? Why are you here? Where do you live? You have no place to be here. I'm calling the cops. Next thing you know, the cops is coming, locking me up for something that I didn't do because I'm walking around in the neighborhood that I live in. It's just I live in the suburbs. I don't live in the suburbs. I live in the hood. But I'm just saying, I'm just using it as a, just to say that this is what goes on with black people. Black people can come into our neighborhood and walk around without a problem, without an issue. You don't hear white people getting robbed in a black neighborhood. You don't hear that. You only hear black people getting in trouble when they go to a white neighborhood. If we walking up the block to go to the store, we're being pulled over by a cop. You look suspicious. I live around here. Let me see your keys. Here you go. Oh, let me see your driver's license. I have an ID. Let me see your ID. Oh, you got a warrant. I don't have no warrant. Yes, you do. Because they have to make sure that we are controlled. It's crazy. Like, we don't have these rallies, dog. We don't go out there and persecute white people for which we could do. We could just tear y'all down if we really want to about what y'all have done to us for so long. But we don't do that because we don't have the time and the breath to do it. And when we do protest, we protest together and we try to protest to defend ourselves as black people. And people, like I said, around the world are looking at black people as being the ones attacked. So they're the ones that are protesting with us. And these are all different cultures. Even white culture, even like I said before, even the white culture is getting sick and tired of its own culture attacking black people. And white people don't understand that. And like I said, all these little small towns and all these little, these restaurants and all these other things that don't want black people in there, that we're spending our money to buy products like y'all used to do. When y'all used to come into black stores and buy products and we didn't care that y'all bought products. We will open up our doors for y'all and we wouldn't do that. Oh, white people can't come in here and eat. No, we allowed white people to come in and eat. If they love soul food, we would bring them into the motherfucking place to eat soul food. We didn't have no black and white signs up. This is for only for black people. No, oh, this is blacks and white. We didn't have that. If a white person wanted to come into our stores, we allow them to come and buy our products. If they want to eat some soul food, we allow them to come into our stores and eat our soul food. We never bitched and complained about any white people coming into anywhere that we had that was a business. But y'all kept us out of y'all businesses because y'all were afraid of us for some apparent reason because we were not even violent. But y'all pretended that we were violent. So y'all made up this thing in y'all head that we were violent people, which we were never violent. And I always tell blacks to do their fucking history and see where black people were actually violent. They'll say, well, Dora, Malcolm X. Well, number one, Malcolm X got sick and tired of us bending our knee for the white man. He just got sick and tired of it. And a lot of blacks got sick and tired of it too. But they turned their backs on Malcolm X and they went after him. Shot him 16 times. And then they did the same thing to Martin Luther King. They turned their backs on him because he wanted to change the world for black people to understand that you can't be violent. You got to be the same. Because, like I said, he was a religious man. So he used Christianity and God to try to support bringing people together, which was the wrong thing to do. And I always will believe that black people should never got involved with white people. We should have stayed away and let us make our money. But we got involved. Now look what we're going through. And I'm not just saying it's black people because there's also other cultures that are going through the same thing as black people, and they realize that shit. Like the Native Americans, the Puerto Ricans, the Japanese, the Chinese, every other culture realize that they're going through the same thing as black people and the Native Americans went through. And even the Mexicans are even realizing that, goddamn, they're treated just like they did the Africans or they did the Native Americans. They're treated us the same way. But the sad thing about it is when I look at D.L. Hughley, D.L. Hughley is going to be attacked by black people because black people still are confused and lost. Now they have the right to pray to anybody they fucking want. Blacks have the right to say whatever they fucking want because there's no rules of ethics to stop black people to support whoever they want to support. They want to support Kirk, let them support him. But the thing is, don't look at us when you are going to be in that same position being locked up in a concentration camp or be put back as slaves like they're going to try to do anyway. You know what I mean? What Donald Trump wants really bad. You know? He wants us to not exist. And the only way that he gets rid of black people, he'd be more satisfied to get rid of black people than any other culture. I'm trying to tell you. And you're supporting that. You're supporting racism. You're supporting hate. And it is real. It is real. This is for real. This is honestly what's going on in this country. This country is such. It's not even what it used to be. This country used to be one of the richest, strongest, powerful country in the world. Everybody feared the United States. Nobody's scared of this country anymore. And the man that's running the motherfucker, absolutely nobody's scared of him. He think he's the third most powerful president that ever lived between Washington and Lincoln. Number one, Washington and Lincoln would have laughed at Donald Trump. And all the other presidents like Edison and Woodrow Wilson and Truman, and I could go back to probably Adams and Thomas Jefferson, would laugh at motherfucking Donald Trump. They will laugh at him, saying he's the third best president of all time. Where does he get that shit from? Like, this is the reason why that we need to stop electing presidents, because we elect these motherfuckers that get in office and try to take things from us, and then they want to recognize themselves as great presidents. How do you take things from people, then recognize yourself as a great president, and thinking people are against you? Of course, people are going to be against you. What do you fucking think? What world do you live in thinking that if you taking shit from people, people are going to support that? You think people are going to support getting their disability, their welfare checks, and many other things taken away from them just because you try to force them to work? Because you see every other motherfucker that want to go out there and work. Yes, if they want to work, let them work because that's what they want to do. That's how they want to make their money. They don't want to sit in the fucking house. But when you got people that are sick and you're forcing them to go to work and they die on their job, they're not going to get any money when they die on their job. They're going to have to fight to get that money from their job. Like, are you serious? People have died at my old job from heart attacks and strokes. You know what I mean? And because they were sick, because they couldn't get disability, so they were forced to work. People want people to work in a world that doesn't have any jobs. Like, where do you see these jobs? Where do you see that Donald Trump is bringing jobs into this country? This country had jobs before the pandemic, and when the pandemic started, everybody lost their jobs and all the jobs started to close. Now, he wants us to work for these big-ass businesses like Amazon, these colleges, and many other places that he wants us to work that's not paying shit. And he wants us to be out there all day long sweating our asses off, working for these big motherfucking corporations that's not going to pay us and work us the fuck to death for no fucking apparent reason to give us a little check. And then when we want a raise, they're going to make it difficult for us. Or we want to get into a manager position, they're going to make it difficult for us. Or we want we want to work at home. No, they're going to make it hard for us because somebody going to sit there and say, oh yeah, we're going to be working. Number one, people are not working at the job anymore. People are working at home. Now, Donald Trump is trying to he's going to sign an executive order. I know he's going to force people to go to work and not stay home. He's going to sign an executive order pretty soon because he loves signing shit. For some, it could be the most dumbest shit. This motherfucker signing it because he think that if he signs a whole bunch of shit and he dies or he gets impeached and the next president comes, which is going to be Vince, there's no way that the Republicans can do anything. Really, honestly, the Democrats can do something. They can actually change back every fucking thing if they really fucking wanted to. But see, Donald Trump wants to make sure nobody can. It's like how LeBron James doesn't want to retire from the NBA. And he wants his legacy cemented as him being this man that played like for 40 something years, right? Donald Trump is trying to do the fucking same thing. He's trying to cement himself as a president that's going to sign all these executive orders. So when he dies or when he gets out of office, impeachment or whatever, or he does his 4 years, he will have the power of the Republican and everything will be seated for the Republican. So the Republicans can never have nobody say anything to say, oh, you can't have this. We don't, they can have power for a very long time. That's what he's trying to do. And that's some fucked up shit. And see, this is the reason why we need people, leaders. We need leaders that actually defend us because, like I said, the boy in California, he's defending his state. But I don't see a lot of other motherfuckers defending their state. Now, I see Chicago tried to. You got fucking Washington tried to. But I'm thinking that they're afraid of this man. This man has these motherfuckers shook. And a lot of these motherfuckers are Republican or they're Democratic, but they don't want to fight. They want to sit there and just let things happen. And these things are happening to the public, to the citizen, the people that are poor and unfortunate that they can't work or they can't find a job because people got to understand how hard it is to find a fucking job. People really think it's fucking easy to go out there and put your application in and your resume in thinking it's people that take probably months and years to get a job. And by the time they get a job, they're homeless. They're on the street. And this is what I think Donald Trump wants. I think he wants people to be homeless. He wants the poor to not make any money because he can give it to the rich. Because if you got all these people losing their benefits, you got all these people you're trying to force to work, where's these jobs? You're going to force them to work in these big companies that, people, half of the motherfuckers that are coming out of college are illiterate. People really can't read or write. People can't use computers. A lot of people can't even use a laptop. There's people out there that can't even sit long because of their health. People can't even stand long because of their health. People can't lift over 50 pounds or 30 pounds. You got people that are in wheelchairs. Yes, of course, they're working at the DMV or they're working at a computer place. They can sit at a computer all fucking day. But you got people that don't work, that don't be in wheelchairs. You got people on crutches. You got people that are using canes. You got people that got one leg. You got people that are sitting up there with one arm. Or there's people that are blind that are working because they want to work. Because that's what they want to do. Because they want to stay busy. That's the reason why. But you got people that really can't do all these fucking things that you believe that they can do. What if you're Jesus and you can heal motherfuckers? Won't you heal motherfuckers so they can go out there and fucking do the job without worrying about being disabled? But you're not Jesus. You can't sit up there and say, okay, well, I'm giving him a new leg. Well, I'm going to give this motherfucker sight. I'm going to get this motherfucker right here to allow to use his hands so he can use the laptop. I'm going to give this motherfucker right here a chance to stand so he can, have some strength in his legs so he can lift 30 to 50 pounds. You're not Jesus. You can't fucking do that. So you're going to sit up there and force people to do things because you feel like, hey, you know what? I'm Donald H. Trump. I play golf all fucking day. You play golf all fucking day. You're like 70 fucking something years old. You got all these health problems. No, you're not going to be on disability because you're the president of the fucking United States. And you really honestly can't be on disability because you're rich. But you got all these other people out here struggling, and black people are really the main ones that are trying their best to keep themselves sane from not going into civil war or going to war, because the way we've been treated. And then you have these motherfuckers sitting up here supporting racist people. And black people are the most gullible people that support racism. Oh, we have to support Charlie Kirk. Why? What did Charlie Kirk do that was so great for you to support him? His wife even threatened people. It's crazy to be threatened of something that you didn't even fucking do, but you got this white boy that's sitting up in jail that did the shooting. But even though we're sitting up here talking about how he was such a fraud, he made money off of racism. He made millions off of the backs of black people, dog. He made money off of racism. This man, Charlie Kirk, never graduated from a college. He had no job, but he made money off of talking bad about black people and having these rallies. And then when he passes away, you got people supporting him. Say, oh, he has a family. Yes, who doesn't have a family? There's black people that died that had family, and we don't support them. They were assassinated too, murdered by cops, and many other people that didn't. And you had that black guy that was hung, from at a college. We didn't support that. Why we didn't support him? Why we support the man and say, oh, he's telling the truth? What truth is he telling? What truth is he telling? We're criminals. So you're saying your own black people are criminals, knowing that white people have murdered people throughout history. This country, want to say white country, was very, very violent with war and many other things. And who's the one that were in the front of these wars? It wasn't black people, because we wasn't even allowed to use guns. We wasn't even allowed to be in the military. And when we were in the military, the only thing we were doing is building railroads and paving streets. And we didn't even have a sergeant that was even black. We didn't even have a general that was black. We had to follow a white general or a white captain or a white, lieutenant. We had to follow them. We couldn't even use guns. We couldn't even fly a fucking plane. We had to beg we had to beg the president to allow us to fly a fucking plane to war. We had to beg to use a gun. And even though we used guns during the Revolutionary War, and not the Revolutionary War, the World War One, we used guns, but they barely wanted us to use muskets. And we were trained to use these weapons, but we were only trained to fight their enemy because they were so afraid of us using the musket. They even had actual meetings that, should we give black people muskets? Should we allow it? Should we teach them how to use guns? Because remember, they were slaves at one point. So we don't want them to turn on us, because even after slavery, they were afraid of us, dog. And D.L. Hughley speaks the truth about how they're so afraid of us that and black people are starting to do the same thing, starting to be afraid of their own people. So we're carrying guns around and protecting ourselves, not from the white man. We're protecting ourselves from our own people, because we're thinking that our own people are violent, and we're not violent. We just look violent because of the way they portray us on TV and social media, and how bad they talk about us, how they have meetings, and how they have they have like outbursts and saying black people are very violent. Just look what this kid had done to this kid, or this adult done to this adult. But let's look at what y'all had done to us for the last 300 years. Oh no, we don't want to show that. Let's ban this motherfucker, or let's lock him up, or let's take away everything from him so he won't be able to actually have his own freedom of speech. Because they're taking away everything from us. Because when we bring up the past, y'all don't want to talk about the past. Y'all just want to just get rid of the past. Like y'all want to get rid of slavery. Y'all want to get rid of the textbooks that talk about slavery, because y'all want to just end it, but y'all want to talk about 9/11. Y'all want to talk about World War One, World War Two, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War. Y'all want to talk about the Mexican War. Y'all want to talk about the Korean War. Y'all want to talk about the Native American War. But when it comes to black people, you just want to erase the past of slavery, because y'all don't want to have a actual dark spot on the United States, which it wasn't called the United States at one point. It was called Turtle Island, but y'all turned that around out of the 13 states. And then when y'all had to purchase, y'all were up there stealing land from everybody when y'all did the fucking purchase. And y'all try to go down to Mexico. Mexico didn't want to give up California, Texas. Y'all went to war with them, and y'all took Mexico, Texas, and California from them, even though they owned the whole fucking South and also the Midwest. But y'all wanted to take that shit from them too. So that's what y'all do. But now, now I'm saying that black people should rise up, but we can't because we are stuck between, you know, we're stuck between not being acknowledged, and we are afraid to have things taken away from us because they're already going to take shit away from us. So what's the difference? So we're going to sit here and allow them to do whatever they want to us as they're taking shit away from us because we're already going to have everything taken away from us. That's just point blank. We're going to be sitting on the streets, homeless and broke. Like, we're already homeless and broke as it is. We're almost near homeless now because we can't afford to pay our rent, and our rent is probably the lowest rent ever. But we can't afford to pay our own rent. We can't afford to pay our own bills because we're trying to be cheap. But they don't want us to be cheap. They want us to go out there and spend our money on the economy, which the economy is dead because everybody's leaving this country to go to other countries because the United States is broke. We got gold. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of dollar bills, $100 bills, $1,000 bills, but that doesn't matter when this country has nobody coming here to actually open up businesses to have people work. Because if Donald Trump really cared about the American people, he would actually have motherfucking jobs come here. Like, besides having tariffs and doing all this other bullshit to other countries that's keeping other countries from this country, now he's trying to keep Muslims out. He's trying to keep everybody out of the country. He might as well build a big ass border wall around the United States to keep people out. And because we can't go nowhere, blacks can't go nowhere because we can't go back to Africa. And even if we want to leave, they're not going to let us leave because they need us. They need our organs. They need us. That's the reason why they won't let us go because they want to destroy us mentally, physically, and emotionally and tear us apart from our own children and make racial comments and have a good time with it. Like, I never seen them have a good time tearing us down, dog. See, when I make a video about how black people are supporting Charlie Clark, you see no views. I got no views, no likes. Oh, I had one view. It's funny. But if I support Charlie Kirk, they'd be up there like, oh my God, you're doing a good job. No, I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick and tired of going through what I go through and watching my people go through what they go through. Now, if heaven got a ghetto, we need to get there because if God only cares about black people, he needs to do something. But that's the reason why I don't believe in religion because I believe if God really exists, he wouldn't let his people suffer. And we're suffering like a motherfucker. And we're not even begging for help. We're just standing here and we're waiting for somebody to say, you know what, fuck it. Let's go and do something about it, but sit here and allow these motherfuckers to keep on doing the same thing they did during Jim Crow, the same thing they did during slavery, the same thing that they did during time that we were actually going out there and standing up for ourselves, and we wasn't allowed to stand for ourselves because they were sending dogs after us. They were blowing us with motherfucking, uh, you know, the with the fire department uses with the hoses and shit like that, and beating us down and attacking us for no apparent reason. But I believe that DL Hughley is so fucking right, and a lot of black people, like I said, are not saying fucking shit. A lot of black people are keeping their mouths shut. And I don't know why blacks are keeping their mouths shut because they are attacking us and they're doing it so good that they're doing it under the microscope. And they're doing it by going after immigrants, but they know that they're not really caring about the immigrants because the immigrants is not what they really care nothing about. They only care about black people. They only want to attack us. So they have to use immigrants in order to come after us. And we're allowing it to happen like we did years ago. But when you keep on poking the motherfucking gorilla, like I said the last time in my other video, you're going to get some shit going on. Because you can't be poking the gorilla along. Because that's all they do to us is poke, poke, poke. And they think that we're not going to do nothing or say nothing. In the long run, that's going to start a civil war. And like I said, we don't want that. We just want y'all to leave us alone. Let us have our disability. Let us have our fucking welfare. Let us have these things. We need these things to survive. If you want us to build a country, how the fuck we're going to build a country when we're broke and we don't have shit? And you're giving it to the rich, and the rich ain't going to help us. And the country's going to fall apart like Rome, because Rome fell apart because the rich left the poor to starve, and the rich did not be the rich. What the poor wasn't be able to work to build the country. So Rome fell. Rome burnt, really, because they just let Rome just get discombobulated and fall. This is what the United States is fucking doing. They're doing the same exact thing as Rome. They're letting this country fall apart. And once this country fall apart, everybody is going to be on the street starving to death. And while the rich up there partying, the rich is going to fail too, because money's not going to last long. Power's not going to last long. Like, history repeats itself. And everybody knows history repeats itself. And you don't want history to repeat itself, because if history repeats itself, this country is going to be just like Rome, just like Greece, just like all these, like the Egyptians and the Mayans. All these fucking kingdoms fell. Even in Africa, they fell. And this is supposed to be a kingdom. I believe the United States is still a kingdom. Regardless, we don't have no king, because you got these motherfucking presidents pretending like they're kings. And that's why I always believe this country is still run by a king. I still believe England is probably still has some influence into this country, because it doesn't make any sense how Donald Trump can actually just do shit that we know that he can't even fucking do, which is against the fucking law. Government is separate from presidency. How the fuck can Donald Trump go in there and snatch up things from the government, knowing that he has no power over the government? Because he's the Speaker of the House. That's all he fucking do. He signs in shit. But how this shit goes into, I don't understand how these executive orders can go past this motherfucking Senate, because you got these motherfucking white supremacist people will actually sign up and say, you know what, we should make black people suffer. We should make immigrants suffer. We should make the poor whites suffer. We should make everybody that has nothing suffer. And we can actually mooch off the poor and make us richer. It's sad that you got D.L. Hughley and many other blacks that are woke and shit. And I'm woke, and I'm gonna stay woke. I don't give a fuck, because I'm not gonna let this shit happen. If I gotta die supporting my black people, I'm gonna die, and I'm a dead motherfucker. And that's the truth, because I'm not gonna sit here and look at my black people suffer, which they want us to do. And black people are suffering themselves, and they don't realize they're fucking suffering. They're sitting up there thinking that, oh, we got all this power, we got freedom, we got a little bit of a constitution on our side. These truths to be self-evident of everything. Everybody is considered equal. That shit is bullshit, because that is not for black people. That is for people that are coming into this country that are trying to get a green card. Everybody is equal. That means he's talking about the Puerto Ricans, the black. He's talking about the Puerto Ricans. He's talking about the Italians. He's talking about the Cambodians. He's talking about other people from other countries. He's not fucking talking about black people. Black people does not exist in the Constitution. Just because we got a little piece of the world here after being freed, because they wanted us to buy land. They wanted us to help the economy. That's the reason why they gave us money and they freed us, to help the country become what it is today, to build the country from the ground up, which blacks has done and many other immigrants has done. And now you look at it as this country's falling apart, because now Trump is taking away what helped build this country. And he's using racism as a tool to separate us. And this is the reason why the country's going to end up like Rome. Rome was a very, very powerful fucking kingdom for many thousands of years. Now, look at Rome. If you go to Rome right now, you see that it looks like a whole bunch of blocks of like Tetris all over the place. Everything's burnt, because they got invaded and they got their motherfucking everything burnt the fuck down. Now, This is going to be what the United States is going to be if we do have a civil war or if we go to war with another country. It's going to be the same thing. How can you want to, why do you want to rule over ashes and the dead? Why? How is that power? Why do you want to rule over poor people? Don't you want to make this country a very, very, very powerful, rich country by having everybody involved with making money like they did a long time ago when this country was very, very powerful and everybody was making money and everybody had a place to stay, everybody had a car, everybody had everything. And now you got these people that are so greedy that want to snatch, snatch, snatch and put everything in their pocket while we're sitting up here starving to death. And people don't understand. We're going to be starving to death. Food prices are high. Water's not free. You know what I mean? Everything is expensive. And even if you're living in Boston, New York, Chicago, or anywhere in the country of California, Arizona, Florida, up into the Midwest, because the Midwest, really, honestly, you could probably live in the Midwest because nobody lives in the Midwest. It's only 300 and something million people in the United States as it is. It's not that many people here. But you look at it, this country is very small. But this is the reason why they want to keep the rich rich because this country is not like Russia or Asia or Africa. Those are big motherfucking countries. They got a lot of motherfucking people that live there. We are a small country. Probably the biggest city in the United States is probably New York or California. But those are the biggest cities. But you got the smallest towns all over across the country, even the smallest states. Even though these states look large, but they're very small compared to these other countries. And we're living in a republic and democratic country, or this so-called Christian country that they want to believe that they live in, which we're not living in a Christian country like they used to live in a Christian country probably during the 1600s and throughout that time. And then, they started using law than using the Bible because they wanted to cut that off. But now everybody wants to believe now this country's turning back into a Christian country. You still got the fucking Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and many other things that still rule over this country. So it's going to be very hard to use the Ten Commandments. It's going to be very hard to use the Bible and the law of God to this country. So I don't know where the fuck they get this shit from because that's all they talk about. They talk about, oh, the God will save us. This country is a God country. No, it's fucking not. This country's ruled by man. Laws were written by men. Even the Bible is a law book that was written by man. That's it. Nothing's going to change. This country is not going to change its power. It's going to keep the same power that has been kept for hundreds of years. They're not going to let us ever be free. Dude Hell Hughley is right talking about these people that are holding on to racism. They're holding on to racism. Why are you holding on to racism? We're trying to get rid of racism in this country, but we can't. I said we'll never get rid of racism in this country. Never. To the day the people disappear off this fucking continent or off this planet, they'll take racism to another planet. They'll take racism to Mars. They'll take racism to the moon. It's not going to go nowhere. And it's a damn shame that we can end racism anytime. Donald Trump could change this country into the richest country in the fucking world. But this dumbass don't want to do it that way. He can help all cultures become rich. He could help this country become the world's most powerful country in the world ever. But he wants to destroy this country and the people in it. Because he wants the people that he has on his side, the rich, make poor people look poorer. Or the middle class be poor and the poor just be homeless. He can make this country really great in power to make everybody rich. He can make the economy strong. He can stop the stock market from dropping. He can stop wars. He can do anything he fucking wants, but they're telling him in his fucking ear, don't do that. And I believe Donald Trump has people telling him, look, man, you need to do this instead of this. Oh, I need to do that instead of that? Cool, I will do that. Give me that motherfucking executive order. I'm going to sign it. Because he could change this country into a powerful country. But this country looks so weak, and everybody else around the world is laughing at this country and really like trying to understand why he's in office. You got other presidents and prime ministers around the world looking at this country like, are you fucking serious? Y'all got that motherfucker in office? We rather should have had Harris in office. But no, you got Putin laughing at Donald Trump. You got the King of England, Charles the Third, laughing at Donald Trump. You got the fucking president of motherfucking Korea. You got the president of China, Japan, all over the world. You even have the Pope don't want nothing to do with him. That's some crazy shit. You got the Pope don't want nothing to do with the president. This is how he says he's powerful. No, he could have been powerful if Donald Trump would have just got people together. If he would have got blacks, whites, and all cultures together, and even got the Muslims together and all walks of life, this man probably would have been the greatest president of all time. But he doesn't think that way. And the people that he has behind him, which is the Gates and the DuPonts and the many other motherfucking powerful rich motherfuckers like the Rockefellers and all these motherfucking powerful rich motherfuckers is talking in his ear. Listen, dog, if you want to be powerful, you gotta put your foot down on the poor and the middle class. You gotta put your foot down on their throats. You gotta make sure they have to beg us. Because that's what they want us to do. They want us to beg for their help. And if we don't beg for their help, they're going to lock us the fuck up and throw away the key. Because they want us to beg. So they're going to start taking shit away from us so we can start begging. Like they always been trying to do for years. And I said this one time in a video a long time ago that we're going to have an issue that they're going to try to make us beg for everything back. And we're going to make videos and all this other kind of stuff that we're making about why did they take this from us? Why did they take our food stamps? Why did they take our medical? Why did they take our SSI, our SSDI? Why did they take all this shit from us? Because they don't want us to have any power. They don't want the poor and the middle class to have any type of power. Like I said before, Donald Trump could have been the greatest president of all time if he would have looked at it in a different way and said, you know what? I'm going to help this country and make this country powerful. I'm going to get blacks, I'm going to get all these cultures, and I'm going to get them together, and we're going to form a fucking power that no other country can stop us. I'm going to make this country rich again. I'm going to make this country powerful. But he doesn't think that way. It's fucking crazy that you have a man that's in office that can change this country into the most powerful country in the world when he makes up all these fucking lies saying, oh yeah, we got the economy better, we got this better, we got that better. Motherfucker, you're lying. You know we are not the most powerful country anymore. You have China and many other countries that are actually looking down on us like the Greeks did when they looked down upon the world when they were in power. They are they're just laughing at this country, dog. They laugh at this country and they make comedic jokes about this country. They know this country is not what it used to be. Like they were afraid of America. They were afraid of our military. They were afraid of our presidents. They're looking at our president right now like this motherfucker think that we're scared of this nigga. Yeah, right. They can go to war with us right now. Donald Trump probably disappear somewhere in his bunker somewhere and make his military fight. Just like Hitler used to do. Disappear in his home somewhere in Austria and he'll sit there while his military fight wars and he's making up these fake ass strategies. This is what Donald Trump was going to do like he did during the pandemic when they're trying to kick his ass out of office. He was hiding with a big ass gate in front of his fucking White House. And he was sitting there in the motherfucking bunker afraid to come the fuck out. This is the president of the United States, and he was going to do the same fucking thing over again because he's afraid of the people of the country. He probably act like he's tough, but he's not. And everybody knows this motherfucker ain't tough. He's a weakling that hides behind his cabinet, and he hides behind the white supremacists, the neo-Nazis. He hides behind the Klan. He hides behind the white supremacies. He hides behind these people. He hides behind these rich people that are billionaires and trillionaires. He hides behind them. And They protect him with an iron fist. And it's crazy. Like, if I want to be president of the United States, I want to make a country great again. I'm going to actually make sure the citizens get a part of being great again. I will make this country great again by building things or making the United States people build things and start businesses to make money to help this country become the country that it used to be when this country was grown through making money, making this country making their own money before we started trading with other countries. This country was making its own money. Now we're sitting up here looking around trying to figure out where we're going to get a job at. Why are we sitting up here going to be homeless? Why are we are looked at as non-desirables? Why are we the ones being snatched off the streets and thrown in jail? Why are we afraid to go outside? Because black people are afraid to go the fuck outside. Because we're afraid of the police. We are afraid that we're going to be looked at just like immigrants are looked at. Even immigrants are afraid to go outside. Even people that are non-immigrant that are probably former, coming from other countries are afraid to go the fuck outside because they don't want to go out there because they're afraid they're going to get stopped by ICE. It's crazy. And they're actually having commercials to hire ICE people. They have a commercial saying that we're trying to get rid of the illegals. Motherfucker, you need to go after the white motherfuckers then because the white motherfuckers are illegal. They came to this country illegal. So why don't you go after them? Why don't you send them back to Europe? But you don't go after them. You go after the ones that are brown. Like, I actually see them go after brown Puerto Ricans. Now, the light-skinned ones, I don't know if they're going after us or what, because I believe they're going to go after us too because we're still considered the same culture. I mean, we're going to get arrested too. But the thing about it is that I'm fucking, like, looking at the immigrants as being attacked because their color of their skin. And even black people are walking down the street and they're being stopped by ICE. And ICE is like telling them, oh, you need to give up your ID and all this bullshit. What the fuck? I need to give you my ID. I was born and raised in this fucking country. I'm fucking black. Oh, you look like a Dominican. Or you look like a Jamaican. Or you look like a person that don't belong here. What motherfucker look? How's a person supposed to look being here? We gotta be white? Because that's the only color of skin that I believe that they think that belongs here. Even they probably stop it. I believe that they're probably going after Native Americans too. Even I believe they're going after any culture because they feel that they have to. They feel that they have to hire people to work in these fucking systems to go after people that they think is not desirable because they've been doing this for a very long time. Even Obama did it, but Obama did it for a reason. Trump is not doing it for a reason. He's doing it out of spite because he doesn't like nobody. He's a hateful man. And people don't realize that yet until things are taken away from them. Then they'll be mad at Donald Trump. Once Donald Trump take away all this shit that he's going to take away from people, people are going to actually hate him. His old mega people are going to turn on him. And he's really going to feel the effects of being turned on. And then he's going to be like, you know what, I need to start using my military because these motherfuckers are coming after me now. Because then people are going to start coming after Donald Trump. Like, really mentally, physically, and emotionally trying to tear him the fuck down. He's already fucking sick. And now that stress is going to really build up on him because everybody's going to look at Donald Trump and say, you know what, we're going to get you, man. Because he's going to lose everybody. And I'm trying to tell people, you voted for Donald Trump, but he's taking shit from you. He's going to take shit from you. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't even fucking know you. All he knows is that he wants you to be broke and poor. Yes, he's going to say, I want you to work. He don't give a fuck about you working. He don't give a fuck about the average person going out there every day to make an average salary to support their family and to build their business or whatever. He doesn't give a fuck. All he care about is giving out rich motherfucking taxes to them and then look at us and say, hey, you see the poor motherfuckers? Watch this. Go over there and start picking with us and have us locked up. Oh, look at this motherfucker. I watch this. I'm going to kick this motherfucker out of his house. This motherfucker firing people like he likes firing people that don't worship him. Then he wants to say people are attacking him. People are attacking you for a reason, Trump. If you don't understand why we're attacking you, and we're not doing it out of spite, because if you would have done good for this country, and you would have looked at the American people as a reason to do good for this country, to help the people that are struggling in this country by like helping them with their education or giving us reason to like you and support you as our president. We don't want to support you. We don't like you. And that's just fucking facts. You can't force people to like you. You're the president of the United States. The president is not supposed to be liked anyway. The president is supposed to support the people in his country, to help his people in his country, to show that he could be a 4-year president and he could be another 4-year president. So we can reelect him because he has done good. This motherfucker's going to get kicked out of office once his 4 years is over because nobody's going to elect Donald Trump. We're going to elect probably another Republican that's probably not even him. Or we're going to go after somebody that probably never been a president before to try to get a Democrat in office so we can get everything back on point again. Because we're going through 4 years of hell, dog. 4 years. Unless something happened to Trump, these 4 years is going to be terrible. And they're going to try to keep this man alive for 4 years, dog. This man going to be on his deathbed signing executive orders. This motherfucker probably going to have his spirit come back to the fucking office and probably going to sign executive orders because they're going to not let this man rest in peace. They're going to support this man until the day this man has his last breath. And we're going to be the ones that are going to be probably celebrating, but we're also going to be sitting up there like, okay, another 4 years with another fucking Republican president, which is going to be Vince. And Vince is a lot younger. He's like 30-something fucking years old. And he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing too. So people are going to support him. A lot of white supremacists, huge companies and corporations are going to support him. This is the reason why people are trying to leave the country. Because nobody wants to be here anymore. If other countries accept us, which I believe other countries do accept us, they see the shit that we're going through, and we just want to leave. But they're not going to let us leave. They're going to try to keep us here, or they're going to try to get us arrested and put in concentration camps to use us as slaves. I'm hoping that my daughter wakes up and leaves this country and go to China or Japan like she said she wanted to go to, because I always want to tell my best friend, leave. Leave this country, dog. Get away. Even if you got to spend all your money to go to another fucking country, leave the fucking country. Get out of here while you got an opportunity, because they're going to actually keep us here. And we need to leave. You got all these rich celebrities leaving the country and going to other countries and living in other countries after they probably retire. You got a lot of athletes doing it. They're leaving the country. They're going to Africa, or they're going to Australia, or they're going to England. They're going to somewhere else, that they're going to Greenland. They're going to Canada. They're going places that is not the United States. They're going to Hawaii. They're going to, even though it's part of the United States, but they're still leaving the country. And I tell people we need to get the fuck out this country while we have an opportunity, because this country is not going to be what it's going to be in the future. It's going to be one of them countries that's going to be actually that you have to be, you got to have paperwork to live here. There's going to be no such thing as freedom. It's going to be a country that we thought that we were proud to live in, and we're telling everybody they should come to the United States because the United States is a great country. It's never going to be that ever again. It's going to be like one of them countries that Hitler had, Mussolini, Stalin. They're going to be Russia, which people think Russia is this communist state. But this country is becoming the same thing as other countries around the world. But at least that they're giving us a chance to leave, to go somewhere else, so we can get migrated to another country, because they offer us to go to other countries. They're opening up the doors for us to leave this country because they know this country is going to be Rome. And they know this country is falling apart. And they know this country is not the same country that it used to be, where people used to fear this country. This country is going to go to war with other countries pretty soon, because Donald Trump don't know how to keep his mouth shut. And even if he lives to be 80 or 90, he's going to fucking still have power, because I believe that he's going to retire. His presidency is going to probably end when he's turned 86, I think, or something like that. Because I know he's not going to get another term, because you can't have 3 terms. Now, if they reelect him for a 3rd term, he'll be tied with motherfucking Roosevelt. But we don't need that shit. We don't need him being in a 3rd term. I'd rather take Vince right now, because I'd rather him be president than him be president, because at least Vince has some common sense a little bit. But this motherfucker don't have no common sense. This motherfucker froze at a fucking banquet. He's so worried about building a motherfucking ballroom that he didn't really care nothing about Kirk being killed. All he's talked about was that fucking ballroom. All he cares about is golfing. All he cares about is making everybody else feel misery because he's going through misery. His wife honestly really don't care nothing about him, but people see that. But they want to block you and ban you because you said something about his wife. Which I never will talk bad about his wife because his wife, nothing's wrong with his wife. His wife is doing the good thing, is not accepting him as a man because he's not. He's an asshole, and all the things he did in the past, and it's coming to haunt him. And he said, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to destroy people because I want people to believe me. If people don't believe me, I'm going to take shit from people." So that's what he's doing. He's slowly but surely wanting to take things from from the poor and unfortunate to give back to the rich, which the rich don't need shit because they already got millions and trillions. So how much money do they fucking need? We are sitting here looking from afar, trying to figure out why these people do the things that they do. And when we speak up, we're the problem. We are the ones they're going after. It's sad. DL Hughley is right, yo. Like black people are so lost. And once we got that stick from that fucking juice that they put in our fucking arm, black people have changed. Black people have gotten like robots. They got lost. I'm not just talking about blacks. I'm talking about everybody that got that stick in their arm and continuously getting them sticks in their arm. People say, well, you got the vaccine for the flu. You know when the last time I got a vaccine for a flu? That was almost when I was a child. Come on. I don't like I don't like needles. And I don't want nobody putting anything in my body that I don't know about. I'm already taking the medication for my HS, and I don't even want to fucking take the medication that I'm taking. I'm taking steroids that's actually destroying my fucking body. You know what I mean? Taking 4 pills a day of steroids. Even though they'll say that's not a lot, it is a lot. Because if a person that never takes steroids before, that actually is using the steroid for my HS, that's supposed to help my HS, is really destroying my body because it actually can slowly kill me. It brittle my bones and everything else. It's already fucking with my mouth, with my jaw. It already makes me have headaches, and it also makes me eat a lot. And it also is destroying a lot of my muscle fibers and a lot of things that it's doing that steroids do. And I'm taking 50 milligrams. Like I'm taking higher doses. Like I used to never take a high dose. Now I'm taking more high doses because my HS is so bad and inflamed. And that's the reason why I don't understand you're getting these sticks, but you're still going to the hospital getting medication for other things, knowing they don't have the cure for the common cold, or they don't have cure for heart disease, they don't have the cure for strokes, they don't have the cure. Well, they do have the cure for cancer because Putin is bringing that the fuck out pretty soon, and he's giving it away for free. Then you have people that have HIV, no cure. People have herpes, no cure. People have syphilis, no cure. People have all these different types of diseases with no cure, but you're popping in vaccines. We can't cure any other fucking disease, but we can try to stop us from having COVID or having flu. Well, flu is the worst virus ever because it killed more people than any other virus ever was influenza. COVID hasn't killed that many people. They say it killed millions of people. I think the vaccine actually killed people too. So I always will believe that because I think a lot of people are not immune to taking vaccines because of their immune system. And I believe that they died from the vaccine. And they want to just not mix that in because they don't want to. They can't do that because if they tell you that a vaccine is harmful, they can't give it to you or they can force you to have it because, like I said, there's no law for you to take the vaccine, but jobs can force you to take it and the government will force you to take it even though you know that they won't even tell you what's in it, but you take it just because they tell you it's all right to take it. But you don't even know what the fuck is in it. It's like you are eating soup, but somebody was putting motherfucking some type of cleaner in it, But you can't taste the cleaner, but you know you're getting sick, but you understand that that person is poisoning you. So people are being poisoned, but they don't even know they're being poisoned because they had these motherfucking needles sitting in these factories for years, and they had all these fucking caskets and all this other kind of shit all over the place, which they actually showed and they were trying to hide. Even the doctors were even telling, even doctors that were fucking working for medical for 40 to 50 years were telling you, listen, do not take this vaccine. Oh, let's take it anyway because that doctor was working. The funny thing about it, they had motherfucking pediatricians even telling people to take the vaccine. Pediatricians were telling people to take the vaccine. People that worked on children and actually was trying to, give children vaccines too, which the children's immune system was very, very weak, but they gave it to them anyway, so a lot of children died. But they don't talk about that. They can't because you know why I believe that it changed people from what we used to be before the pandemic, then during the pandemic, when people were afraid to be around their own families. Now, people are around their families, they still don't know how to be around their family because you know why? Because we've been locked away from each other, you know? And once we were given the stick, we actually started attacking our family, fighting our family, disowning our families, you know, and racism has become such a part of our lives that we're teaching our children to hate. We're teaching, you know, classes around the world to hate people. And like I said before, black people are so easy to manipulate. Black people are so easy to brainwash because we're the only people that believe that if we just bow down, they will give us what we need to survive. And we're always on one knee to this person and on one knee to say, Clark, you are a good man. You said some things. Yes, it was terrible, but you told the truth. How is it that they can tell the truth, but we can't tell the truth because we're going to be blackballed or blacklisted or we're going to be taken off the shelf of telling the truth? But we can't tell the truth because they'll tear us down if we tell the truth. And that's some fucked up shit. And I hope they don't do nothing to D. Hill Hughley like they did to Jimmy Kimmel and to many other black, or not just black, but many other people that spoke up and don't understand why that we have no freedom of speech anymore, that we're supposed to have it because the government really honestly is supposed to allow us to have freedom of speech because it's in the Declaration of Independence and how this president has so much power to do all these fucking executive orders that is so crazy. They're doing it in the fucking middle of the fucking night that people are so worried about the Epstein and worried about Puff Daddy, which they don't talk about Puff Daddy anymore anyway, but we're worried about all these other issues that has nothing to do with us, like the war with Ukraine, the war with Palestine and Israel. We're worried about that, but we're not worried about what Donald Trump is signing. And he's signing shit like every fucking day. Like, I believe that motherfucker be up in the middle of like 2 in the morning signing shit. Well, let me sign that. Let me sign that. While we're sitting up here worried about Ukraine. We're sitting up here worried about Russia. We're sitting up here worried about Palestine and Gaza and worried about Israel. This is what we're worried about. We're worried about giving all our heart to these countries, but we're not giving all our heart to our own country. Our country is miserable as shit, but we got to take the time to say we got to pray for Israel, Gaza, and many other parts of the world that has nothing to fuck to do with us. And we're sitting up here allowing the president of the United States to tell us, hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do some crazy shit. I'm gonna sign these executive orders, and I'm gonna keep on signing these motherfuckers while y'all motherfuckers sleeping. And when y'all wake up, y'all gonna be shocked about what executive orders I signed. Because he signed a lot of the motherfuckers, dog. He continuously signed executive orders like motherfucking like he's signing his autograph and shit. And he's gonna keep on doing it, and nobody's saying nothing. We're not going out there protesting about it. We're not going out there standing up for it. Nothing. He's just signing executive orders. Like, keep on continue signing them. And all we do is wake up in the morning. Donald Trump signed an executive order. Again? Yep. This time, he's going to take away everything from you. But he's doing this right in front of our faces. And he doesn't care what we say or what we do because we can't do anything about it. Because once that pen go to paper, it's over. And I really thought that Donald Trump was going to change his mind messing with SSI and SSD. I really thought he was going to say, you know what, I'm not going to mess with that. People need that. But he actually is fucking with it. That's crazy. I thought he was going to have a mindset. You say, you know what? People need this shit. They need food stamps. They need medical assistance from the government. Oh, well, the government is fucking full of loopholes and full of fucking drama, and we need to fucking destroy it, or we need to rebuild it. But you're not doing anything. You're destroying it, and you're making the people that are sitting there trying to understand why are you doing this, but you won't even go after the criminals because the criminals are the ones that are actually destroying the system. And the people that are actually doing the right thing with the system, y'all want to get rid of our benefits because you want to force us to work and you want to force us to do things on your terms. But that's how it shouldn't even be like that. The people that are unhealthy, that proves that they're unhealthy, should be able to get the medical or get the money because they've proven it. Why do we need to have a 12-month curve to actually still tell us that we're still unhealthy? 12 months is not a long time. Now I see if it was a year to 2 years to 3 years. Yeah, you're following us to fuck around to see if we're sick. You're taking pictures of us. You want to know that a little bit of money that you're giving us, you can take away from us. And we don't answer your phone calls. Y'all are like going to pout and say, we got to take away their medical or their food stamps or their SSD or the SSI because they're not answering the phone. But y'all calling us from numbers that we don't even fucking even know anything about. Y'all calling us from 267 numbers or numbers that we never even seen before. Y'all don't text us. Like, if y'all give us a text, it'd be a lot different. If y'all email us, which y'all don't fucking like doing, you know, or y'all like to send out mail, and when we get the mail late, y'all want to blame us for not getting the mail on time, knowing that we got the mail late because we didn't even know y'all sent out mail. Y'all could text us and say, you know what, we're sending out a letter to you. Make sure you get the letter. Make sure you read it. Make sure you have the letter sent back to us or signed or whatever. But y'all don't even do that shit. Y'all just call us and we don't answer the phone. Y'all cut us off. Why cut us off when we need it? I see if we didn't need it, y'all cut us off. But we need it. So you want to cut us off so we got to go through all that bullshit again to get it back. That's fucking crazy that we have to not waste our time because it's not a waste of time because we need this shit. If we didn't need it, we would never want the fuck after it. If they didn't say in these commercials, if you need help with your SSD or you need a lawyer, call us. That's the reason why that we have got lawyers to help us get our SSD because we know that we can't get it on a normal basis without them turning us down. I've been turned down 10 times, dog. And I had mine for 5 months. And I don't do nothing. I get a little bit of money and I end up with like $14, $15 left in my bank account. Because I had to pay my little bit of bills that I have. It's not a lot. But I still end up like $14, $13 in my account. Only thing I survive on is food stamps. And even if I survive on food stamps, I have to make that last because I don't even get that much food stamps. Now they're saying they're raising the food stamps this October to 298, the same amount of food stamps I got the fuck before. There's nothing different than them rising it because I had the same amount of food stamps before. There's nothing new, but they're saying that it's a great thing that they're raising it. Okay, I don't I have one child that's grown, but she has her own way of life. I'm a single person. I'm not in a relationship and I'm not married. So I'm dealing with my health problems by myself because I'm very independent. But they don't want you to be independent. They want you to have all these medical supplies around you and shit. They want you to pretend like you're fucking dying to keep you to have a little bit of money, which they're not even giving you the money that you need to survive because they want to take it away from you so fucking bad. They want to take away millions of people's disability and insurance and many other things instead of saying, you know what, we're going to help these people, make America great again. I'm going to be the greatest president of all time. People are going to love me, but people don't fucking like you. And you're not the greatest president of all time. It's like you're saying that you're LeBron James, you're better than Michael Jordan, and you know that's not the fucking truth because you lie all the fucking time. And you want people to love you because you're doing a little bit of something for people, which you're not doing a goddamn thing. Why even look at Social Security and disability You should have left that fuck alone. Let the government deal with that shit, not a president. But y'all want to fucking have this motherfucking man do that shit. Let him do whatever he want. But he needs to be impeached. But he's not going to be impeached. Because, like I said, he was already impeached a long time ago. They're not going to impeach him again because they're afraid of him. Now, like I said, if he dies in office, that'd be a different story. But he's killing us with this Social Security and all this other shit that he's trying to take away from us. It's so sad. And then they try to blame black people for standing up for what we believe in because he's so afraid of us standing up for ourselves. So the only way to keep us quiet is to take things from us. That's a damn shame. The year 2025, man. Then we can't buy snacks with our disability next year. Not disability, with our food stamps next year. We won't be able to buy those snacks. It's crazy. We got to use money to buy potato chips. We got to use money that already potato chips is expensive, soda's expensive. This is the reason why we got food stamps. They talk about a health trip. Are you fucking serious? Have you looked at the motherfuckers that be sitting behind the fucking chair? They're old. How are they fucking healthy? And how you try to force us to be healthy, knowing that you're the ones that gave us the problems in the first place of being unhealthy? Y'all have the nerve to say, hey, you know what? We need to start taking food stamps and start not letting them eat potato chips or drink soda. We're going to force them to pay out of pocket for these, these sustenance because we are just so dumb to know that food stamps will help us have more variety in our refrigerator than motherfucker going to a snack bar and spending $5 or $6 for a bag of potato chips or a soda. That we can use our food stamps to buy these things, which food stamps are created to do. But like I said before, they're trying to take shit from us. They don't want us to be happy. They don't want us to be, anything except poor and unfortunate. Like they're sacrificing us for their God. Like it's crazy to get more money placed in their pocket. They're always going to get money in their pocket. They're not ever not going to be rich. But how the fuck are you going to take money from us, the poor and unfortunate? Why take that shit from us? Why not make this country great by making this country great by doing things that help the people of this country to help this country be great? Why take shit from us to make us not make this country great? Because even the whites are even confused. Are we making this country great, or we're just dibbling dabbling, fucking with one culture to make that culture look bad? Because we hate that culture so much, and we still don't know why we hate that culture. Because you can shrug your shoulders to say, "Well, I don't know why they hate us so much." I'm gonna stop talking, man. I had to make this thing about Charlie Kirk, man. Black people need to start standing up for themselves before we go extinct, dog. We're close to extinction, man. Once upon a time, yeah, we couldn't walk through white neighborhoods, but we made the effort to try to be friendly with white people, to support white people, to help white people. But it comes to be that white people don't want our support. So they're going to try to take things from us. So it's cool. I'm just trying to tell people, y'all need to leave this country while we have an opportunity, man. Because if we don't, we're going to be stuck here forever. Dealing with the same bullshit, that got us locked up in chains for 400 years.